How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man.
Still beating up other men?
At times, sometimes even on a TV show. Other times, just in general.
I figured.
Here with Michael Kiske.
I see the Beatles in the back.
Yeah, you see that?
This.
Oh, we both got some great backgrounds, but that's how it is now when you have to do these video calls. You have to have something in the background.
Yeah, it's
people
stupid
see,
when
right?
they blur it out or put something fake in there. It always looks weird.
Yeah.
Well, you have those belts behind it. That's also very impressive.
You see that?
Yeah.
This one is from my cruise, the Jericho cruise, like a rock and wrestling cruise. So we have a belt for that. And that one is the
Yeah, we never got to get to your house. That was kind of, I was kind of looking forward to that. Was somehow not working. You remember you wanted to invite us to your house when we were in the States, but it kind of didn't work. I think you were on the road or something.
Yeah, no, I came and saw you in Tampa at Janice Landing, and I was going to have you guys come over. So
yeah,
next time.
Yeah, it's not long anymore if they let us in.
Oh yeah. But that's the thing with Helloween, and you guys are probably bigger than you've ever been in so many different countries, including the United States. I mean, last time for the last tour, I came and saw you in Los Angeles.
Well, that was the biggest show. That was the biggest.
It was huge. There was probably, I don't know, 5,000 people there. It was crazy.
I think it was something like 3 something. I wasn't sure. It's like, I mean, I don't remember, but I don't think it was 5. I think it was, you're just nice. You're doing good promotion.
But still, I mean, it seemed like, I mean, it's definitely the biggest crowds you've had in the United States, maybe ever.
That's true, ever. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's still, I mean, that sounds kind of cocky, but it's still kind of small to other places where it's really going great. You know, it's like, I didn't expect that, to be honest with you, when we started this Pumpkins United thing. I didn't have any expectations. I wasn't thinking too much. My motivation was just to make peace and get all the crap out of your soul and see what happens. But then I mean, we were never able to play places like we do now. And sometimes, I mean, like in Spain, it was sold out right away. So it was like, I think 14 or 15,000, and they booked another day, you know, which is amazing.
Why do you think though that it's so huge, this Pumpkins United?
Since this whole thing was prepared before in terms of the, you know, on the human level, we kind of figured out we didn't want it. It was not like most people would do it just for the cash. You know, just for like having a gimmick for having successful shows. We wanted to see if this works on the human level. So we did that like almost 2 years. We were kind of getting to know each other. I needed to get to know Andi. I needed to get things straight with Weiki. So that's my explanation. The spiritual side is honest, and you can see that on stage. And that's why I think we were able to get the two parties together, like the Kiske phase and the Andi Deris phase. They all got together and they kind of accepted it. That's my only explanation, you know, why it works that way. Well,
it's interesting because with Helloween being together for 40 years and all these different, you know, lineups and iterations, it's almost like the event becomes something bigger to where younger fans are now like, oh, it's a Helloween, you know, celebration, reunion. They don't even really know what that means, but I think it's the event.
And it's the bigger party is always better. That's just the thing. And with 3 vocals and with being able to play songs from all the years, no matter what, you just do so much. And I think it's just plain more entertaining.
Right.
To have 7 people on stage and being able, nobody got kicked out, so we can play anything, you know. I think that's also part of it. It's just more fun. It's like when you go to an Iron Maiden show, you know what I mean? It's like always a big show with lots of stuff. It's just more fun, you know. Right. We almost have a little bit of a Avantasia thing going on now, since we have more singers. It was always the Toby thing to have all these singers. Right. You know, we have 3 or 2.5.
But how is that for you? Because a lot of times, you sing a song or two, then you take a break, then Andi sings, and he takes a break, then you're singing together, then Kai's involved.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's much more like a Broadway show or something.
It's amazing. The older you get, the more you get lazy. So it's like when I was younger, my ego was bigger. I would have not liked it, but we all love it because it just makes everything a lot easier. You don't have to sing a whole freaking set like you have to do.
Yeah.
It's much easier. It's much easier, and the breaks are not too long so that you don't go down. That was a bit of a problem with Avantasia because you started very often. You started off with 2 songs in the beginning, and then you had like half an hour, 40 minutes off, and that's when you go down again with the voice. Or you can sing in the back if you like, but you never really do that. But with us, there's always enough singing that you stay warm. But it's not too much that it wears you out. You share it. You have it on 3 shoulders. But also there's another benefit to it. If you get sick, you can just move things around. You can throw out 2 or 3 songs that I was supposed to do and put songs in that the other 2 sing, and then we switch another song where Andi sings more, and so you can still do a show even if one is not there anymore. That's another benefit. We did that a few times. I mean, I'm not the only one getting sick, of course. We had the situation in Japan where Andi, right from the start, he caught something, a virus, and he was bad. It was like there was nothing coming out anymore. It was like it was a bad thing. I had it on the last show, slightly coming, but I was able to finish the show. And then when I was home, I felt it. It was a weird kind of thing, like lots of slime that you can't sing. It completely killed your voice.
Right.
The singer virus. It's just for fucking up singers. But we changed the set, of course. He didn't have to do that much. It was more songs where I was just singing, so it was a good show still.
How is it with 7 different personalities and, of course, 3 singers? And it's been 7 or 8 years since the Pumpkins united. Everybody is still getting along, and are you at the age where 7 people in a band is a lot of ideas and thoughts and personalities?
Yeah, it's always intense, and we're also very different. But so far it works. I mean, we got our faces where we had little arguments, but it never gets very serious. It's like, when you get older, you learn that you got to give each other credit as much as you can. If you don't do that, it's not going to work. You got to forgive and forget whatever happens. In general, we got to know each other, and we know that nobody means bad. We know that everybody in this band has a good heart. We all have our demons, we all have our moments, and this is just the way it is. It only gets serious when you don't give credit. You need to be able to, when something, everybody has a bad day, and everybody is very different. I mean, I have completely different ideas and opinions about it, but I kind of also learned to let go, give things away. I mean, I was never able to do that when I was younger, but I didn't even watch any of the videos we did. I didn't watch Budokan, never seen it. I can just let it go. Even the photos, I let Jan do it, take the pictures, and that's great. If you're able to let things go and give it away to others, it makes life easier too,
Why do you not watch the videos?
I don't know. I don't want it to influence me. To me, it's like I want to be free. I want to be real. For me, it's important that it's still even when it gets bigger and things become serious, and the management creates more pressure. It's always the case when things get bigger that the pressure gets more. But I still I want it to be an honest rock show, even though it becomes bigger. And that's only possible if you don't try to analyze yourself. If you don't try to, at least in my case, if you don't try to change something you do. I don't want to act. You know what I mean? I don't want to act on stage. I just want to be there, and whatever feels like, that's what I'm going to do. And if I watch myself, I might not like this, I might not like that, or whatever. And then I start thinking about it, and this is, I don't know. I just don't like to I mean, I've seen a few bits and pieces of the videos here and there, but I haven't watched the whole thing. But it was funny. It looked interesting. We got some good guys in. Also, the photo session was good because it was a new guy that we never worked with, at least not in my time. I think they worked with before.
So the new record, Giants and Monsters, amazing, just like the last record was, Helloween. I love, and I told you this in our Instagram DM talks. I love how it's the combination of the three vocalists, you know, and you can hear it when because everybody's voice is very distinctive. Yeah, nobody sounds the same,
and that makes it easy to say who should try what. We have these moments very, very often that's a bit that Kai should sing, you know, or I just right away when I wrote this, I heard you there, you know, or and that makes, I would say, like 70% of the songs, the songwriter is pretty content on who's supposed to sing it. But we have these situations when we try it out. We have had songs where all three were singing them, and just to get a vibe, not in terms of a competition or something like that, who does it better. You know, everybody, as you said, is very different. So you quite easily figure out, oh, that's where that he can shine, or that's when he can shine, because that's all that really matters. Who seems to be fitting best for the song. Everybody can sing every song. There's no problem. You know, everybody could sing each song, and it would get the vibe of the person. But some songs are just better for that person, and some songs are better for that person. And sometimes we try and see what happens. Sometimes I do some vocals for a song because I was supposed to do that, and I didn't feel comfortable. Then I might try it again the next day, and if I still feel like doesn't really feel right, I let Andi do it, or even Kai. You know, it is very creative. It's not any ego shit going on. It's always just about what feels right, and we also give a lot of choice to the producers. To be honest, it's also something that we didn't do much in the beginning. I mean, the producers had influences, but in terms of the songwriting, and I was the only singer in the time, which made that easy. I mean, I had to sing, but with these, especially with the last production, it was very relaxed, and we were listening to the producer. It was a situation that was kind of new to me too. I was singing one song one evening with Deris, and then the next morning Deris said that Charlie thinks that this and this should be sung a little differently from the vibe. And the first moment I was kind of a bit, wow, you should have been there, you know, wasting my time. But then I kind of said, okay, fuck it, I give it a try, and he was right. I did it again with the idea he had, and it sounded better. And I need experiences like that. You know, then next time you easier listen to what someone else. You know, I have a singer ego. I feel like I gotta do it. You know, I don't like to be told how to do it, but sometimes it's worth giving it a try. You know, because sometimes another person hears something that you don't.
But that's also something that you understand as you get older. Like you said, when you're younger, no one's telling me what to do. I'm going to sing this song, but let the professionals be professionals. They're producing this record and mixing the record and engineering the record for a reason.
And also the attitude was good. I mean, very often Charlie said, that doesn't sound enough like Kiske to me. It's like when you got the demos, you have Sasha singing on it, or Kai, or Andi singing, even songs that I'm supposed to sing, they did the vocals for. It's like when you learn the songs, you got the style of these singers. Years, you gotta get rid of it. So it's like we took a lot of time. I took 2.5 months with lots of days off, and I was just singing. Mainly, I was in the sun and having a good day and whatever. And in the evening, and not even every day. I mean, I'm not singing every day. It was very often the second day that I got into the studio in the evening and we tried something. And when it was a song that I never sung before, which was quite often, pretty much all the time, actually, apart from 2 songs, we were printing down a rough version so that I got to know the song. The next day, we did another version where I was trying to feel more comfortable. And that very often we did a third version where I was supposed to do completely my thing, forgetting what the others did.
Mm,
And that's a good attitude because he was not
right.
trying to make me be someone else, which is always a bad producer. A producer that wants his ego that, like, he wants to sing through you, which is kind of deleting you. If that
Mhm.
happens, that's not how it should be. But he wanted me to sound more like me, and if it wasn't enough for him, he was saying that. So that helped too. I mean, it was a good attitude.
It's exciting too, though, as a fan, because the new record comes out and you see the track listing and the video. This is Tokyo. You can tell it's an Andi song. Andi's the lead singer, and you do the kind of the harmonies and stuff. So you're listening to the record, and it opens with Giants on the Run, and I'm like, okay, it's Andi, it's Kai, and where's Kiske, and then the next song is all you, and it really is, the next song, Savior of the World. It really is kind of like, I don't know, this Broadway play where you're waiting for the entrance of Michael Kiske, and then you come and you're the lead singer on this song, and then you guys are together on A Little Is a Little Too Much, and then it's like I said, there's no other band that does this. It's so fun. It's fun as a fan to listen.
It is. It's an interesting thing. I would never have thought that we would do something like that. Many years, but it is very refreshing. I mean, you have bands with two singers. You had Kiss,
right?
With Gene and Paul, or you had like Linkin
the Beatles,
yeah. I mean, but we started off always with 5 pieces and 1 singer, and then it changed, and now in the end we get everyone who ever sang in this band on the same stage, and that's different. That's definitely different. It was the beginning of the album was different at first. I think we started with, I don't know which song, but we started with a song with me and Andi, and then the producers had this suggestion that they think that would be a better running order or something, but I kept out of it completely. I haven't even listened to the record yet. I have to, because we're practicing soon.
Now you mentioned that you never watched the videos, you didn't listen to the record. Is that kind of this new attitude for you, where you just like, I'm just happy?
Yeah, you gotta stay free. Especially when, I mean, this might just be me. Other people may have other ways to stay free. We're all slaves to money, we're all kind of have to make it and stuff like that. But you can do something about how much it controls your soul. That's the element where you do have some control. I mean, it takes some work, it takes some spirituality, but I find it very necessary to try to stay inside of myself as free as I can when it comes to success, money, and the pressure of doing this and expectations and stuff. And the best way is, I enjoy singing, and this is important to me. And it's not that I don't care. I love the songs, I love the music, and we're gonna play it live. But I try to take it not too seriously. So it's like to ignore some of the things helps with it in my situation, to stay kind of free. I'm not too attached to what we've done. And when the record's done, it's done. I did the same with my solo records. I never listened to them again when they were done.
So you just let your producer and the editors take care of it, and you don't worry about it.
Charlie was sending me a couple of weeks ago, he was sending me a link where the master was, and he wanted me to say what I think. I just forgot it. I just ignored it. I never heard the master. It was, if something's wrong, it's my fault. I didn't check it out. I didn't say anything, but it's going to be all right. I mean, I know what they're doing.
So do you even know, like, throughout the 10 songs, which parts that you're singing, which parts they kept, which parts Andi and Kai do? Do you even know this if you haven't listened to the album?
Unless they've changed something. But I think if they've changed something, they would have told me. I think we figured it out while doing it, what we thought was good. I mean, we changed something when we did the video to Tokyo, because they choose the voicing differently than I thought we should do it, because there's not much, there are not many places on the album where I sing together with Andi. We sing after each other,
right?
But not so much in duet, like together. And Tokyo, the verses, we did a version where he just did one voice in the verses, and I did another one. I think that's the way it is now, because I hope it is, right? It's us both singing in the beginning.
Yeah, you guys are both together. In the first
Yeah.
verse, you hear more Andi. The second verse, you hear more Kiske.
Yeah, exactly. And they had it like Andy's doing the whole first verse, and then I did the whole with both voices, the second verse. And I thought that's stupid. That's one of the only places where we can sing together, different voices. So we changed that actually while we did the video shoot, because that was when I heard how they choose to do it. And then he called them up and said, yeah, change that. Michael's right. It's just, we got to do it. And it was planned like that anyway. That's where he had it in his head in the first place.
So in the band with Helloween, there's quite a few songwriters. When you guys are first putting together the ideas and the demos, do you sing everything, or do they say, okay, I want a producer comes up with it, or Andi or Kai comes up with it? Like, how do you figure out who's singing what parts?
I mean, like I said, most of the time the songwriter has an idea what he thinks. For instance, Universe, Sasha wanted me to sing it.
Mm-hmm.
We even had I suggested that, because Kai did the talking bit. There's a talking bit that he did, and I thought he should sing the part that comes after it. This Queen kind of part with the voices and stuff. So he did, but Sasha didn't want it. Sasha wanted me to sing it, so I had to do it then. So it's like very often that's the case, that the songwriter has a singer in his mind, and then that's what unless the singer doesn't want to do it for
Mm-hmm.
But usually that's not the case. But we have had songs where all three sang them, and then the producer checked out what's kind of interesting, and yeah, and because it gives a very different flavor, and sometimes you're surprised. Sometimes it just sounds cooler when the other guy does it. And you got to try it out.
I feel that that Weiki loves writing songs for you to sing.
Yeah, it always works. It's the same with Kai. when I anything Kai writes, I can sing, and it always kind of sounds right. I mean, most of the time.
Yeah,
he has a style, and we also pretty much like the same kind of bands that we grew up with. So it's like he always writes in that Judas Priest kind of vein to a certain extent, and that always works. Sometimes it sucks that he wants to sing all of his songs. It shouldn't be like that. He should actually. He wasn't. He was great this time. I mean, there was absolutely no. He was fine with everything we suggested. Okay, on the first record, it was a bit difficult. He wanted to sing almost everything of the song Skyfall, even though it sounded better when I did those parts, and it was. In the beginning, it was intended like that. He sent the demos to me to sing them, and he said, "It's going to sound so great when you do this and that." So he even had me in his mind. But I guess somebody else told him, "Oh, you want to sing the song, girl?" He's like he's easily influenced. But the thing is, there's a certain I mean, I like it when he sings. It's not that I don't like his voice or anything like that, but there's a certain magic of the old days when I sing his material.
Yeah.
That should not be ignored. It would be stupid to have him sing all of his songs.
So, and that's interesting because you're talking. I think you guys reunited in 2017, maybe something like this. So it's been.
I mean, that's when we played live.
Right.
It was in 2016. It already started.
Did you think that you guys, and of course you never know for sure, but did you think, once again, we talk about all the different personalities and all the different egos and characters. Did you think you guys would be able to last 8 years and continue to build?
I mean, we did not know. It's one thing to make a plan and you meet up and everybody is motivated. I mean, that's easy, everything's fine. But when you start touring and you're together all the time, in the planes and whatever, so you don't really know if that's going to work. That's why we made contracts till the end of 2018. That's it. The end of 2018. If it wouldn't have worked, we could have just everybody gone its way, and no problems, no contract bullshit or whatever. That was just because we didn't know how this was going to happen, but it worked out fantastic, and we all felt like that would be stupid to end it. So we made new contracts. We made an album and did another tour, and now it is kind of. It's kind of the thing that we're doing, and unless we really get into some horrible fights and hate each other, which I don't think is going to happen. We're going to do it until we die or no one wants to hear us anymore.
But I think that's great, though. Once again, like, in every band that we love that ever reunited, you mentioned, Iron Maiden earlier, all these different bands. It's great when you are young and then you break up and then you get back together and realize this is a pretty rare thing. Like Helloween is a huge band. It's a pretty cool situation.
This is the benefit when you're a dinosaur, it really is a benefit. It's a horrible time, especially in Europe, for young bands, rock bands, to
Right.
start a career. It's never been more difficult than
Yeah.
today. And we have kind of, how do you say it? Our brand is out there. I mean, we have established this band over so many years now. We're a band of the 80s that has been going on, and then we since 8 years now we do this reunion thing, and you can see that sometimes you are hit by it when you see some of the reactions in the audience. I remember when we played Save Us for the first time live. I think it was the second tour. I saw a girl crying. She was singing the lyrics and she was crying. And this is like, wow, you can see how it's like you connect times of your life with music. We all do, and it gets kind of woken up when you listen to the songs. I mean, I have that with my Elvis records or Beatles records. I mean, I was listening to a whole lot of different styles of music always in my life. I was never just a metalhead. Even in my heaviest metal years, when I was completely into Iron Maiden, Metallica, Judas Priest, I was still listening to Kate Bush. I was still listening to Eurythmics, U2, even Barbara Streisand. I was listening to. Like I was always very, very open-minded when it comes to music, because I don't really care that much about the style. I just need a good song,
right?
And a good performance, and then if it moves me, it moves me. It doesn't need to be loud to be good,
I think it's something too. You mentioned the girl crying with Save Us. Helloween created, in a lot of ways, a whole genre of music with power metal. I mean, I think when I go back to history, whatever power metal means, Helloween was kind of the first. Very fast, very melodic. And I think that's another reason why the band is so big and people are so connected, because you guys were the first of this whole entire genre.
We're a part of it. I would say we were part of it. I mean, when we were just influenced by many of those bands that I was just describing,
right?
And mixed it all together, and that's what came out of it. People say that. People always say, but listen to Fast as a Shark for next step.
Yeah, you're right.
Halloween. You know what I mean? That is that style. Even the two harmonic guitars and stuff like that. So it's like we gave it our own flavor. But I don't think we invented it. I just think we were part of it. Part of that metal movement in the 80s. There was a lot of great things going on, especially now that it has died. I don't know. America is always different when it comes to the music scene, but over here in Europe, metal is happening, rock is happening. You can tour and stuff, but the general music culture, especially in Germany, is really dead. It's very sad. So I'm glad that I was young when I was young. I mean, I wish I'd still be young, but in terms of the music, it was great to be a teenager in the 80s. It really was great.
Right.
But it was just so creative.
When you joined Helloween, you were so young, early 20s.
I was 17 when I joined them.
17. Wow.
Yeah, I was 17. And I did my first tour with them when I was 18.
That's unbelievable. Because it was 87 to about 93 or so, your first era in the band. So joining so young and then also leaving the band so young.
I was 24 when I was out.
It's kind of like, how was that for you when you're kind of thinking, here I am, I'm at a very big band, and then now I'm done and I'm 24 years old. It's kind of like you're over before you even got started.
On one hand, I was happy I was not. I mean, it's much more difficult with someone like Roland, now to be on your own. When you're 24, I mean, it was devastating. I was really frustrated. I was really pissed. I was hurt. I mean, for many years, I didn't want to have anything to do anymore with music. I mean,
Right.
I was doing my records and stuff, but I was diving into studying philosophy, and I
Yeah.
was just spiritually on my journey, and that was great. I needed that. Okay,
Mhm.
but in terms for the band, it was so great in the beginning, and that made it so hurtful how it ended. But it helped that I was young. It helped. I mean, when something like this happens when you're in your 50s or in your 60s, I mean, it's like, or like with Jeff Tate. You know, I'm always thinking about it, how painful this must be. This sad ending of Queensryche. You know,
Yeah.
the I'm sure his heart is broken.
Mhm.
And they always pretend, you know, then they always blame the other side and whatever. But deep
Yeah.
down inside, you just fucking hurt that it is over. And to have that happening at the end, it sucks. It's much better the way it happened with me. It happened when I was young. I learned a lot. I mean, I used the time, and I was off the band for over 20 years. It was a long,
Mhm.
and it's amazing to do it now, you know, in that phase all together in that way, even more successful than we ever were. So this is like the lucky way of
Yeah.
of band history, you know.
Why, what happened for you to leave the band the first time? I don't think we've ever discussed that before.
Yeah, I think they kicked me out, and I was kind of laying bombs so that they did, you know.
Mm.
And
You
looking,
wanted to be gone?
yeah, I was kind of I needed to be out. It was just not functioning anymore.
Mhm.
The spirit that was there in the beginning when Kai was still there, especially, was gone. It was just
Mhm.
not same. It's not that the band was shit with Roland, or it's not that Roland wasn't a good guitar player, or you know, song. It's just a different person. It's
Right.
like it's just a different vibe, a different energy when you exchange people.
Mhm.
Bands are very fragile, especially when you have some kind of magic going on. A great
Right.
band always creates magic that the individuals can produce on their own. And when they get together, it's something bigger, it's something different. So I mean, you have tons of examples for it. When the most famous one is Paul McCartney and John Lennon. Those two together, even though they were great on their own, no doubt about it, nothing compared to when they were together as
Yeah,
a
of
team,
course.
you know. And that wasn't there anymore. When when Kai left the band, everything was different. We were just arguing. It was almost like it was meant to be over. It was like it was just not the same spirit anymore.
I was mentioning to you, and a band with 40 years of longevity like Helloween has, there's many aspects and albums that were released and phases of the band's career. I really liked the Chameleon record. I
Yeah.
was in Hamburg at the time it came out. I
That
was
was
last.
interesting.
Yes,
You told me last
yes.
time. I mean, I
So
hate that time because it's not a bad record. I mean,
yeah.
we did some nice stuff that it was a great production, but the time was horrible. The time was horrible
Mm,
because we were not functioning as a band anymore. Everybody
right.
was kind of doing a solo record. I did my songs. Roland did his, and and Kai wasn't there anymore.
Mikey.
Mikey did
Yeah.
his stuff, and we did okay, but it was. I mean, looking back at it, a lot of people over the years came to me and said what you say, that they like
Mm,
it now because it wasn't bad. It was a good
no.
record. It was just very different. It was very
Yes.
off. Pink Bubbles was already very different because we took the wrong producer. It was just Rod Smallwood. I love him, but he talked us into taking a different producer, which was stupid. I'm sorry.
Mm,
It was just we did the Keeper records with Tommy Hansen, Tommy Newton, and it was working out. Why changing a team like that? I don't.
right.
Looking back at it, I don't understand. I mean, of course, he did it because he thought it would be good for us. He thought it would be a great idea. He thought you can better it up, but it was a mistake. So Pink
Mm,
Bubbles was just a re-recorded pre-production. Really, there was not
mm.
the creative parts that always took place in the studio just didn't happen. It was
Wow.
it was impossible with Chris Tsangarides. He just wasn't the guy who do things like that.
Gotcha.
He would block any crazy or any funny idea. You couldn't do that with him, like you were able to do it with Tommy Hansen. He loved fooling around. I mean, something like Rise and Fall with all these funny noises, comic sounds in it. You couldn't do that with Chris Singerius. That was something you were able to do with Tommy. So that was the thing already with Pink Bubbles, that it disappointed a lot of fans, and the sound was already changed because of Kai being gone. I like Chameleon better because I think it is much more creative. It's much more interesting and it was with, as far as I remember, it was with Tommy again. Yeah, it was with Tommy again. Probably that's why it is better. But it is always difficult when you have made yourself a fan base. I respect people being creative. I always say, do what your heart tells you. You gotta do the music that excites you. But it's risky if it goes really far, really off what you've done before. You gotta evolve. But if it goes too fast, if it goes too quick and too far off, very often audiences can't follow.
Right.
And I mean, I was pissed in those days. I took it personally. Nowadays I understand better. It's like a betrayed love affair. They love what you've done. They don't want to hate it, but they're just disappointed because they're not getting what they had expected. It's a difficult thing to sort out, because you always in that fight stay real, stay honest with yourself, but you also don't want to piss people off. So it's like, and you fail. I mean, every band has had phases like that. Even Queen. Think about Hot Spaces, how audiences hated that record. Oh, you too. With what's the name? With Zoo
TV or Zooropa.
Zoo TV or something like that. People hated it, and there's just one good song on it. Okay, I mean, every band has phases like that where you. It was just kind of too quick for us. Kai should never have left the band. It was a stupid decision. If Kai would not have left the band, I think things would, even today, would look different. But then again, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing now. So somehow it turned out good.
When Kai left originally, was this something that you were against? Like, don't do this?
Oh, yeah.
Was it Weiki's decision? Was it Kai's decision?
Weiki wanted him gone.
Wow.
But I wanted him to stay. And I was trying to talk to him. I was trying to. I remember the last show we did. It was in Ireland. It was one. Actually, it was one of the shows that ended up on Live in the UK. I mean, Ireland is not. It's not the UK, but it was that tour. Okay,
right.
And I remember the very last show that I just on stage. That's it. So now you can go.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I didn't get it. I didn't think it would be such a big thing as it turned out to be. I thought we'll be all right. We just get another guitar player and move on. I didn't have that experience. I didn't know, and it's not that. I don't want this to be understood in a way that I'm saying he was like the driving force, or everybody else doesn't matter, or something like that. That's not what it is. It's the spirit when we all were together.
Chemistry.
Yes. Kai could not have been out of it. Without Kai, it wasn't the same. That's the thing. And it's a very different vibe now, but it's even better now. It's even more interesting now, because now you have the old guys apart from Ingo together, and you have new people who bring something in. So it's the tension and the dynamics are even stronger now. I don't even write songs. I could write songs. We have 6 potential songwriters. This is why we have written 2 records.
You said that, yeah. You said you already wrote the next record.
It's already done. This is how creative this band is. I think this is so amazing. I was really surprised. I was last summer. I was recording the vocals for a song of Avantasia. I don't know if you heard it. I have something with moonlight. I really know that. Not under the moonlight. Weiki has a song too, but there was something with moon also on the song that I sang for Toby. And I really liked the song. I thought, wow, that's such a great song. Sounded really Helloween-like. Toby knows how to do that.
He sure does. Yeah.
And I really loved the song. And I almost got frustrated if we have songs like that too. Because I think I had like 2 songs or something which I thought were okay, but they were not as good as Toby's song. So I was a little frustrated, but then slowly the other songs came in. Like, good stuff. Yeah, we are that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how it is. You can't lie to yourself.
Right.
It either kicks you or it doesn't. You can try to talk yourself into it, but your heart is not in it, you know?
Well, it's interesting to me because part of early Helloween, on Keepers 1 and 2 and Pink Bubbles is the Michael Kiske and Chameleon as well. You always wrote good songs and always had great contributions. But this is 2 records now where you just sat back and said,
Yeah.
it's okay. I won't
Yeah.
write anything.
On one hand, I'm lazy. And on the other hand, I don't think it's necessary.
Mm.
Yeah, they have, and when I write something, it'll usually be very, very far off anyway. So that if they can really use it, that's something that, I mean, if I have an idea that I thought could work, I will suggest it, and then if they like it, they will make it work. But I'm not under any pressure that I have to do it because I mean, Kai, Andi, and Weiki, and also Sasha, but especially Kai and Andi and Weiki in his own way. But Kai and Andi, everything that they do is just always great. It's just always working. And I think they're equally brilliant, to be honest with you.
Andi Deris is so great at writing Helloween songs, and not the save us thrash.
No, his own style, the style that he was giving his
yes.
Yeah.
This is Tokyo, and I can always tell a little isn't a little too much because when you get the album that Uti sent me, it doesn't say who wrote the songs. I don't need that. I can tell. That's an Andi song.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
Even the songwriting has a fingerprint.
Right.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, they were wrong with Out for the Glory. Everybody thought it was a Kai song.
Yeah.
But it was
a Weiki song.
Yeah.
When you guys were talking about getting back together, did you and Kai have a conversation? Should we do this? What do you think?
It was actually Kai who made me give the final statement. I don't know if I told you this. I make it short. I was like still in that program of I'm angry, I don't want to, blah 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 blah. I was, but my heart was not. It was just lingering on somehow. And I've noticed that when I ran into Michael in France, we were playing there with Avantasia, and Helloween was there too. I think Avantasia was headlining. And I ran into Michael backstage. I think it was in 2014 or something. And he stood in front of me and he looked at me and he said, "What have I done that you can't forgive me?" I mean, that's a perfect thing to say. And I was there, I was like holding my breath, and I was like, and I felt like there's no anger.
Yeah.
It was all gone. By getting older or whatever, I don't know, it was gone. I said, you know what? I think I've forgiven you a long time ago. And that was for me where I realized things have changed. Still, there was no talk about any reunion or whatever, but then we did the Unisonic thing, and it started to become cool. It started to work out. We were playing like 2,000 seats, things like that. And I remember that must have been something like 2015 or 16. When we played 2 shows in Spain. It was great concerts. The band was getting there, playing wise and everything. It was great shows. I remember that. And we were after the show in the dressing room, and then Kai said to me, I mean, you wanted to do something together when we were at the second Avantasia tour anyway. We started to talk about that's why he joined Unisonic, because we wanted to do something together.
Gotcha.
But the Helloween thing really started. We were after, I think, the second show in Spain. We were after the show in the dressing room, getting all the clothes and whatever. And he said, "Michael, one day we just got to do something with Helloween again before it's too." I said, "You know what? I'm open." And Costa was playing the drums in Unisonic, and he's part of the management. And he looked at me and he said, "You know what's going to happen when I mention that in the office?" I wasn't thinking much about it, but then like a couple of days later, Jan called me up and said, "Are you serious about this? Is this you just talking, or is this something?" And I said, "Yeah, I kind of feel like the anger is gone, and I'm kind of open. That's when we started this getting to know each other again. I had like long phone calls with Weiki, talking things out, and then I flew over to Tenerife, spent like 2 weeks with Andi, because we didn't know each other.
Sure.
And Jan said, if you guys don't get along,
Yeah.
we don't even need to start, because if you don't work on stage, it's not going to work. But everything worked. But that's how it actually went. So Kai was almost, I mean, I was the one who gave the green light by saying I'm open to it, but Kai was the one who initiated it with his question.
Why were you so mad at Weiki over the years?
Well, he tricked me out. He was playing games. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I have forgiven him.
Of course,
I even told him it's all forgiven.
Yeah.
He had some demons on his side that were stronger than him, because I needed to go. That's truly how he was just an instrument.
Yeah.
Because I needed this time off. I needed this time. It was good for me. So I have forgiven him. Honestly, it's all good. But he was playing games behind my back, talking, so that everybody hated me, and then they kicked me out. That's how it went, So that was the main tension. It was Weiki and me, but that's all good. It's all gone. It's all good. He's a different person today.
But and when you left Helloween, you didn't even really want to sing heavy metal, quote unquote, for a while.
No, I was so hurt that I hated it all. And also, in addition to the experience with Helloween, I was doing my solo records, where I was not trying to fake Helloween. I was just, as I always do, I just do what feels right. I was doing something with Adrian Smith. I don't know if you remember.
I do.
I was coming in, and we did some stuff, and it was not Helloween. But then the press over here, they did the typical very odd enemy kind of stuff, that they criticized those records because it didn't sound like Helloween, and that pissed me off.
Of course,
I was like, I was firing back. I was writing a book about art and materialism. I was like, how dare you? You don't understand what music is. I gotta be creative and not your puppet. You talk about true metal all the time, but there's nothing true about your attitude, because you want me to be a puppet of the market. You want me to copy the band I just left. I was like, all these arguments are right. They're artistic, right? And I still think that way. But that was me being so disappointed also about the scene and how they treated you when you don't copy what they expected.
Right.
That I just fucked the whole scene. I said, fuck you. Fuck metal, And that was for years. And it was Toby who was actually the first one who made me sing something like that again. That was the first Avantasia record. Reach Out for the Light.
Right. I remember.
He talked me into it. I didn't want to do it. He called me up, and he's a great guy. He has a great attitude, so I liked him. And I said, nah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it anymore. And then he called me again a couple of weeks later, and he talked me into it and said, yeah, okay, I do it. But you call me Ernie. This is why I'm Ernie on the album. But you can see, I mean, I'm laughing about this today myself, but you can see the mindset I was in those days. It took years to get over this frustration and being disappointed. And he was part of it. It also I then did the Place Vendôme stuff that was offered from Serafino, from
Frontiers,
which was great. That's how I got to know Deris. He was producing and arranging these songs and writing a lot for it. And that's how the Unisonic thing came together. This is how karma works,
Yeah.
Things come together, and it was a slow process over many years. But also Place Vendôme was important because it was rock music.
Sure.
Again,
it was always such a big deal to hear you singing on these things, even going back to Gamma Ray Land of the Free, where that's Michael Kiske. You can hear him because you weren't singing like that for such a long time. So when these surfaced vocals came out for these projects, it was a really big deal.
Yeah. And with Kaya, it was easy somehow. I was always good with him. There was just never any. I was pissed that he left the band, but when I was out of the band myself, it didn't matter anymore.
Right.
in the same situation. So when he was offering songs to sing, I was really up for it. Time to Break Free and
Land of the Free. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. That was always easy for me somehow. But it's actually pretty much the only thing that I really did. I mean, occasionally later on, I did a few things here and there, but the real opening up started with Toby and
with
Avantasia.
Avantasia.
Yeah.
As we start to wind down, you mentioned Ingo. Talk about Ingo Schweichtenberg. Uh,
Schichtenberg.
Schwichtenberg,
Yeah.
obviously passed away many years ago, but a member of the original Helloween. A lot of people have forgotten this, but any good memories of Ingo? What kind of a guy was he?
He was simple.
Yeah.
He was not very complicated. He was usually in a good mood. He was a good heart. He was a good soul, but he was his own worst enemy.
Mm,
He was really killing himself with alcohol and
mm,
cocaine. I mean,
mm.
we didn't know that he was doing cocaine. He was doing that like when he had off times and whatever. I remember when we had this legal situation with Noise, when we
Mm-hmm.
were on ice for 2 years, and I
Right.
didn't see him for 2 years, and then I saw him. I was like, boy, he looked like 10 years older
Mm,
because he was treating himself so bad. He was fighting a lot of demons, and we
mm.
were kind of helpless, to be honest. We did not really know what to do.
But once again, a great drummer. I'm sure you
Yeah,
had
very
some
passionate. He
great
played with a lot
times.
of passion. I
Yeah.
mean, I later on when I started to do my own solo thingies, which was just I basically was just doing it because I didn't have anything better to do, and the record companies were offering me these things, so I did it. But my head was somewhere else, you know. It was, but I noticed how drummers do have like emotion. They have passion or not. It's
Mhm.
not just a rhythm. It's not just no. They really are different, and it can make a whole big difference who plays in your band. You
Right.
know, I had various people trying to drum on my records, and it's not even it was not even that the steady playing. I mean, what a drummer could be like really tight, really
Mhm.
on the beat, but nothing happens. It just
Yeah.
doesn't move you. And the other one might be even shaky a little, but there's something about the playing. And that's the thing. That's the whole magic with guitar players, with singers, with musicians in general. You when you are able to put your soul in it and transfer it and speak through your instrument.
Mhm.
Yeah, people don't really think about this too much, but that's the magic. That's why you get goosebumps by this guitar player or by with this singer, or because there's something above the technique, something above the songwriting, and that's a spiritual thing.
Mhm.
And drummers have that too. Some drummers, they just play and it's magic,
You
and
can
you play
tell, yeah.
over it and it's just much better than a different drummer, and you can't nail it down. It's not tightness, it's a feel, it's a
It's feel,
passion.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember that when Phil Rudd from AC/DC,
Yeah.
when he was out of the band and they had
Mhm.
other drummers, this bold guy and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I remember up to this day, I was sitting on in my room on a desk with the computer, and I had the TV running. It was MTV running, and it was an AC/DC, new AC/DC song coming up.
Mhm.
And I was just my leg was just going, mhm. And I said, "What is that groove?" And then I realized he's back.
Yeah.
I felt the
Yeah,
beat. I
yeah.
felt his beat.
Mhm, mhm.
I think that proves it. I didn't look, I didn't think, I just noticed something's different. It just grooves in a much better way.
Talking about you, I know you're gonna hate me saying this, but in my opinion, one of the greatest metal singers, rock singers of all time, Michael Kiske is. Uh, you have such a distinctive voice. You're talking about a drummer that has a certain vibe. So does the voice of Michael Kiske. Still sound like you always have live on this new record, Giants and Monsters. Is it easy for you still because your range is still exactly the way it always was?
Well, I gotten older and I gotta
Yeah.
work harder.
Mm,
I gotta get myself in shape more. When
mm.
I was in my teenage years, I didn't have to think about anything. I
Yeah.
was just getting into the rehearsal room, and we were just there was never any getting tired, or not that's when you're young. Your body
Yeah.
can just do anything. That's the only difference. And of course, the voice changes, but that's not necessarily a negative thing.
Mhm.
Get more resonant. I sound way better when I sing lower keys, or in the mid range. I'm fuller and louder, and you just have to work with your voice. I could name some singers, but I don't want to because I don't want to hurt any feelings. But there are singers where I would say they still have a fine voice. The voice is okay, but they just didn't work enough to adjust to the changes of the
Mm,
body, to adjust to the changes of the vocal cords.
right.
I mean, I think I'm doing things right, technically. I'm
Mhm.
not violating my voice. I always say that. It's like when you do something that is unnatural to your voice, it's going to hurt your voice. And
Mm,
doesn't have anything to, it doesn't have to be anything specific. I mean, look at Robert Halford. The guy is a mystery in itself.
mhm.
He was singing so hard, so rough his entire freaking life. I would have been done in a year
Yeah.
if I would have. His vocal cords are probably metal. Made out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's
It's
made
not
of
normal.
metal. Yeah.
But I have a theory why that is because it's him. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? It's his personality. His
mhm,
voice reflects who he is. So it's natural to him. He can
mm,
sing like that. But if
mhm,
someone else tries to emulate him because he's a big fan and he emulates that, it's not going to work the same way. You might fuck
mhm,
up your voice because your voice is structured in a different way. You always have to find your tone. You can't be influenced. I've been influenced by other singers, but you have to find your own voice, your own style. That you
mhm.
recognize. Also, your own way of doing it because every voice is slightly different. But singing like it is natural for you and not violating what you're doing in a way that it hurts. When
Mhm.
I have a rehearsal with the band for 2 hours, 3 hours, I can still talk afterwards and my
Mhm.
voice is fine. You know,
Right.
which shows I'm not wearing it out.
So you're getting ready for the 40th anniversary tour. I think you start up in a month or so. Um, Unbelievable that once again, like we said at the start of this conversation, how big Helloween is now. Uh, 40 years, that's a pretty rare thing for a band, especially to be even bigger than you've ever been.
I think that's just because of how times have become, how things have changed because of I think it's part of it. I mean, the
Mhm.
band, it's also because the band was always delivering somehow
Mhm.
with, I mean, in the time with Andy, they have made great records, you know,
Yeah.
they have great stuff. It's part of why this is working because we never over a long period of time disappointed. It was
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
one or two records here and there, you know, wasn't received as well as others, but we were always coming back with stuff that was exciting. That's part of it. But I also think over here in Europe, you can notice even the young ones looking back into the 80s now, getting excited about bands of the 80s.
Yeah.
And many of those bands are coming back and they can play live again and
Mhm.
they can fill venues because it's so much cooler than the shit that is there that the young ones are doing, like this
Yeah.
German rap. Who needs that, to be honest? It just sucks. I hate it. And it has no ideals, you know. I mean, I just can't stand it. Okay. It's like, especially the German version of it. It's like, I don't get it, but it's like a lot of young ones, especially because of YouTube, lots of videos are available so they can see all that stuff and they discover Elvis. They
Yeah.
see Elvis performances that they wouldn't have any other way other than through YouTube. So they discover things and I know the kids of friends of mine, they're totally into music of the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, but especially the 80s. And I think that's part of it.
Mhm.
Somehow 80s bands are cool again, you know?
Yeah. How do you guys put together a set list for this
Oh,
tour?
that's difficult.
Is there somebody in the band that comes up with
Yeah.
the initial one? You guys all pick
Yeah, I
ones, or
mean,
how does it?
the organizing driving forces, totally without a doubt, in this band is Sasha and Donnie. I
Oh
mean,
wow,
they
really?
do all the organizing work. They sort out the things, and they do that very well. I mean, especially Sasha. Sasha is
Nice.
really active and really interested. He puts a lot of work into a lot of things. He does that very well. You know,
That's
I'm
great.
happy that he does. But of course, there's always a work together with Jan and these two, and then they suggest something, and then we destroy it all, and how it goes, you know. But it has the tour we did in 2017 and 18. That was perfect because we didn't have new music.
Right.
We play all the hits, 3.5 hours with the video stuff, and
Yeah.
you know that was amazing. And whoever missed it, bad luck, because that's not going to come back
Yeah.
because now we have new records, you got to have
Yeah.
new songs in it, and we also don't want to play 3.5 hours anymore. So it's
Mhm.
like it's something like two and a half that what we're playing. So it's more difficult, but this time we'll play a few songs that we haven't played ever or for ages.
Well, that's great.
We can do that. We just have to work, and that's always a little bit of a problem because they're really lazy, especially the guitar players. I would learn 5 extra songs just to have them.
Yeah.
Just like when you play 2 nights in one place, you can swap out songs. I'd do it. But for the singers, it's easier than for the guitar players.
Really?
To learn all that stuff on the guitar.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, for us singers, it's not so difficult to learn a song. That's a day or 2. And then you know how the song works. With the guitar players, they have to practice for weeks to get the shit back into the system, you know.
When you guys started rehearsing and coming back, I know like when Adrian Smith came back to Iron Maiden, he had no problem with Yannick Gers playing some of his solos.
That's actually a good example because it's a bit like we did it, right?
Yeah.
We didn't get singers out. We have 3 guitar players too.
Right.
I forgot about it. I got to know him, and when I was in England and doing some stuff with Adrian, we went out for dinner with Dave Murray and Yannick. But Yannick was with Bruce.
Yes.
He was playing on Bruce's records. I still remember that. Yeah, it's actually a good move. I forgot about it. I forgot that Maiden did that a little bit too.
Sure.
Just with top players, yeah.
So when you came back, did you not have any problem with Andi singing some of your parts, like in Helloween or in Keep the 7 Keys? Because you have such a great combination.
That was surprising for myself that I didn't have any problem. Because when I first opened up to the idea of a reunion, I thought the plan was to make a keeper tour or something. Like me on vocals and the old band, but I realized pretty soon that's stupid. You can't do that. You can't create like the old band and what doesn't work. I very quickly understood. I mean, Jan said, "No, we can't do that. We got to do it all together." And then, wow, really? And then I thought about, it's actually quite good, good, actually. And I grew into it, and I love it, and Andi loves it too. He doesn't have to sing stuff, you know, that's not natural for him or whatever. And vice versa, you know, we can just, and we do things. We're going to continue to play with it. There will be surprises where he sings something that normally I would, and vice versa. That I sing a song of his. We can do all that shit now, you know.
That's exciting as a fan to hear that, you know.
Yeah.
Last few things. I know both of us are huge Elvis Presley fans. What is it about Elvis to this day that you still love? Because still one of the greatest voices, and there's so many videos coming out now from the 70s, and you can see a lot of his stuff. But what is it about Elvis that you still really appreciate?
Was unique to the bone. I mean, it doesn't matter. Every move, the way he looked, everything about him was unique. He was just had such a charisma. I never seen that again anywhere. I'm sorry. It's like they're great people out there, but no other Elvis. He was just amazing. He was absolutely brilliant. If you don't have a sense for it, people might not understand it. You have, as always, you have to have a heart for, you have to be able to love something that opens up your eye. Okay. But if you have a heart for him, every Elvis fan knows exactly what I'm talking about. There's this aura, he had this energy. He was like out of this world, in my opinion. The dude. Of course, he did all those great songs, which he picked the way he liked it, but that's not it. It's his personality. You even hear that when he was doing like my favorite Elvis phase, the 68, 69, 70, 71. That's my favorite Elvis phase.
Yeah.
And when you see him recording in the 70s with the band together, it's his presence in the room, why they play the way they play.
Yeah.
This whole vibe, the whole band was so driven by his charisma, by his energy. And then look at him on stage, like post out Eddie, the way he moves, and the drummer follows his moves. So when he speeds up, the drummer speeds up. He's like a conductor. You've never seen that before. Usually the drummer gives the speed. No, on stage, Elvis gave the speed. It's it was just so dynamic and so energetic and so unique. He had more uniqueness in his little finger than most in their whole body.
Do you have a favorite Elvis song?
I have many, but I think maybe my all-time favorite, because it's just so powerful, is Suspicious Mind. The way he sings it is the lyrics are not so happy, but he sings it as if he's laughing the whole time. It feels like it is one of the songs where he was dubbing the harmony. If you listen to it, he did
Yeah.
the
Oh,
harmony.
okay.
He rarely did that. He always had singers, other singers.
Oh, okay.
On Suspicious Mind, he overdubbed himself. That's why it is so close together.
I love Polk Style Annie. That's such a great tune.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
there's
really
so
good.
many songs, but
Yeah.
if I have to pick one, I say
Suspicious Minds.
Suspicious Mind.
How about on the new record, Giants and Monsters? Is there a favorite song on there for you? I know you haven't listened back to it. You might not even remember which songs are which, but
I'm sure I've forgotten some. But I was surprised about. I mean, Andy's songs are always great. I thought Kai did very well too because we had to talk him into giving us the song. I mean, he wanted to use it somewhere else again. The boss. I mean, we had to tell him, Guy, he's a Helloween song, but he understood, and he.
Yeah.
I mean, but we were all very surprised about Weiki's songs because he always does. The demos are always very difficult to read. He sings for himself, which he can.
Oh.
he tunes it, and it's like, what is that? What is that supposed to be? It's like we usually you don't understand what the song is supposed to be, and then they sit down, like Charlie usually with him, and he goes through every line, and Weiki sings it. Okay, and then Charlie sings it a little bit better, and then they, so okay, that's the idea, and in this. With this production, we had this very happy situation quite a few times, and you will probably know what I'm talking about. You have a pool of songs, like whatever, we had 29 songs or something. Let's say you choose 20 songs that you want to work on, and you have your favorite. That's going to work. That's great. And then you have songs where you think, yeah, there's maybe a B-side. Then during the production, sometimes it happens that those songs
always
just turn out to be really good. And we had that like many times with songs we didn't have on our radar turning out to be really good. And Weiki's songs were especially those songs that when we figured out vocals, there was I don't remember which song it was. There was one song that I was recording with Charlie. It was a Weiki song. And I felt like, you know what? I think the song needs some kind of ironic attitude. It needs a bit of a rise and fall kind of spirit. You know, and then we did that. It was like over dramatizing, over expressing things to give it a bit of a humoristic touch. And that worked. That worked. That was one of those, that's cool. That worked. But you got to give these things time. This is why it was great the way we recorded it in Andy's studio with all time we needed. I mean, I was there for 2.5 months.
Right. Well, what's last question for you? What's your favorite song to sing live when you're playing with Helloween? Is there one that stands out after all these years?
I love Eagle Fly Free. It's not easy to sing because there are not many spots where you can breathe.
Right.
The verses. Weiki always does that. He always forgets that singers have to breathe.
Yeah.
We have to cut the lyrics sometimes. I need some spots to breathe, Weiki. It doesn't work. Otherwise, you have to insert a tube here.
Yeah.
The Eagle is difficult to sing, but it's just such a killer song. So,
it's the classic Helloween song for sure. Yeah. Well, it's great talking to you, man. Always a pleasure, and congratulations once again. The new record is incredible. I'm excited to hear you sing these songs live and to see you guys playing again.
Yeah, we love it that you are excited about it. You know that you are a big superstar in America, and you being interested in it and doing something like that is great for us too, especially for America. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. We will see you on the road somewhere soon, for sure.
All right.